Episode 173. Today we see what's happening down on the farm and are joined by Pirates prospect and current infielder for the Altoona Curve, Jack Brannigan. You're listening to the Bucko Banter podcast, brought to you by the Just Baseball Media Network. Cue the music.
Rockin' 101, she compliment my taste. Whiskey in my lemonade, cause I like the way it tastes. Best seats at the Pirates game, they let me run the base. Yeah, my time is like my money, cause I can't afford to waste. Wifey is a lawyer, take my date to my dates. Order steak by the plates, and in case after case, run my race at my pace, clear the grass of the snake.
Welcome back to Down on the Farm. Adam, we have got a lot to talk about. It's also draft season, so we're going to get into a little bit of draft talk leading up to the next month, and got some exciting recaps to go over.
A lot of moves being made, potential trade deadline acquisitions that could factor into the Down on the Farm episodes coming up. We already saw probably what's going to be the biggest trade of the trade deadline happen in June, but things are going to start getting busy, man. Once that first domino falls over, a little bit of a chain effect here, but let's give a shout out to our partners at Rhythm. Scott, you're terrible at gambling.
Speak for yourself, dude.
Potentially the worst gambler I know, other than myself. But we've been recently hitting on some parlays lately, some money lines, some run lines, some player props. Why is that, Scott?
It's because we use Rhythm, and we bet smarter, not harder.
Exactly. Bet smarter, not harder with Rhythm. Use data-backed results to get the best bets you possibly can. And now with Power Trends, Rhythm will identify those best parlays for you. All you have to look for is that little lightning logo that Scott looks for every single time that he opens the app. Click that. You're getting the best ROI for your bets. Use code JustBaseball50. That's all caps. JustBaseball50 for 50% off a full year. That gets you access to MLB, NFL, NBA, college hoops, whatever you need. Rhythm has it. Try it free for 7 days and bet smarter with Rhythm. What's going on, Scott?
Well, some exciting college baseball. I don't know if you've been watching any of the College World Series. This is probably the least I've watched it throughout a year. I'm a big college baseball guy, but what I did see today, Gage Wood for Arkansas threw a no-hitter, 19 strikeouts against Murray State, which was pretty cool. Gotta love college baseball, and the College World Series is sort of coming to an end. Just Baseball was well represented out there. We had Aram out there, Peter, a few other guys that made the trip to Omaha. That's definitely on my bucket list. And I'm excited. I'm getting like draft fever. I started doing all my prep this weekend and looking at some names and then, familiarizing myself with those names and all their specific tools. It's hard to get through 20 rounds of guys. That's almost impossible, but a lot of exciting prospects.
Just Baseball has a draft podcast called On the Clock. So if you're looking for a wider reaching draft podcast, you could find it right here in our network at On the Clock. Jared Perkins, who's been on the show,
Tyler Jennings.
They do a phenomenal job over there. So go check that out. But we're going to be highlighting a guy every single week up until the draft. Is that right, Scott?
Yep. I'm going to take one name that the Pirates have a chance of picking and just give you a little bit of spiel about him.
Little spiel.
You want me to go into that now?
Well, let's go through some headlines real quick. Brett Sullivan was DFA'd. Dari Moreta was reinstated from the 60-day injured list and optioned to AAA. So we'll probably see him in Pittsburgh pretty soon, but his rehab assignment has ended. And that's about it for what's going on with the headlines down on the farm, unless you got anything else.
I do. Thursday, Xander Meath returned to the complex on a rehab assignment. He left his second start this year with due to an injury. It wasn't really specified what that injury was, I don't think. On Saturday, Connor Griffin reached double-digit homers and stolen bases on the year, so he's a 1030 guy now in his first major league season, like first 55, 56 games, something like that. And I don't want to do it. I'm gonna ask it. John Trecker, who's a popular name on Pirates Twitter, tweets out a lot of prospect stuff. This is an interesting stat. And I'm not going to put any validity to these rumors, but he posed the question, does Bubba Chandler have a control issue? Because his last 7 starts, 26 innings pitched, 25 hits, 19 walks, and 3 hit batters.
Maybe he's just so sick of being in Indianapolis.
I was just going to say, I think he's not challenged. That was going to be my response. Not that I want to really stir that debate, just thought I'd bring it up. See what.
If you let a guy sit anywhere for too long, they're going to go through a lull.
He's got the best.
Right?
Everything on paper proves that he is the best fastball in the minors.
Yes.
And he is major league ready.
He's major league ready. I mean, when he gets up to the major league level, he's going to struggle a bit.
Sure.
Nearly everybody does. Maybe not to the same level as other guys. Skeens struggles, even though it doesn't look like much. It's going to happen, but that doesn't change my opinion that he's major league ready. Right? I think it's bound to happen. That's just the nature of the game. Should we get into the game recaps?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's go to Indianapolis versus the St. Paul Saints, the AAA affiliate for the Twins. Indianapolis currently sits at 39-28. Billy Cook has been on fire lately. 7 for 19 this week, 3 runs, a double, 3 RBIs, 2 walks, 5 Ks with a stolen base. He's had his average climb up to 267. If you recall, he's been struggling. So this has been quite the development. Past 40 at bats, 19 for 40. Slash line of 475, 565, 575 in June. Just tearing the cover off the ball. Nick York, 5 for 20, 2 runs with a double, RBI, walk, and 5 Ks. And then Joey Bart on his rehab assignment, 2 for 10 with 2 RBIs, 3 walks, 4 strikeouts. Tuesday, you saw Dari Moreta go 1 inning, no runs, and then Billy Cook went 3 for 4. Wednesday, Bubba Chandler went 2/3 of an inning, 1 earned, 4 walks. His ERA is at 2.63. All that struggling. ERA still sits at 2.63. Sullivan had his AAA debut, 1 2/3, 5 hits, 4 earned, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts, and then Billy Cook 1 for 3 with a double RB and an RBI. Thursday, Hunter Barco, 5 innings, 3 hits, 1 earned, 2 walks, 3 Ks. Joey Bart had a hit again on his rehab assignment with 2 RBIs, 2 walks. Thursday, we had a second game for a makeup game that happened back in April. Drake Fellows went 4 innings, no runs, no hits, 1 walk, 6 strikeouts. Moreta earned the win. 1 inning pitch, 1 hit, no earned, 1 walk, 2 Ks. Friday, Ronnie Simon, 3 for 5 with a double and 2 stolen bases. He has 9 bags on the year. And then Nick York, 2 for 6 with a double. Saturday, Thomas Harrington, 6 innings, 5 hits, 2 earned, 3 walks, 10 strikeouts. And then Sean Sullivan again had the save, 3 innings, no hits, no earned, 5 Ks. Jack Sawinski, 3 for 3 with a double, a home run, and 3 RBIs.
Good to see Sean Sullivan having some success up there. I don't think he gave up an earned run in Altoona, so good for him. We saw him make that spot start, or I guess opener, when we were in Altoona, which brings us to Altoona. They were home this week against the Erie Seawolves, AA affiliate for the Detroit Tigers, 27-35 after this series. Tamar went 4 for 20 with a double, a walk, 4 Ks, and a stolen base. Jack Brannigan, guest of the show today, 2 for 13, a home run, 4 RBIs, 2 stolen bases. Mitch Jebb went 2 for 17. He scored off a little bit, 1 RBI, a walk, and a stolen base. Tuesday, Bo Burrows continues to pitch well out of relief as he moves his way up through the system. He went 2 innings, no hits, 5 Ks. Tomorrow went 2 for 4 with his 10th stolen base on the year, showing some speed on the bases. Wilbur Dotel on Wednesday went 5 1/3, 4 hits, 4 earned, 3 walks, 4 Ks. ERA still sub 4 at 3.93. Thursday, Jack Brannigan went 2 for 5 with his 5th home run of the year, 4 RBIs, his 9th stolen base, while Hudson Head went 3 for 4 with his first homer and 2 RBIs and a stolen base. Friday, Po Yu Chen, 4 2/3, 5 hits, 1 earned, 5 walks, 6 Ks. Kevin Pichardo had a good weekend, went 1 for 3 with his 4th homer, 3 RBIs. And Saturday, he went 2 for 3 with a double in his 5th homer and 2 RBIs. Take us into Greensboro, Adam.
At the Rome Emperors, the high A affiliate for the Braves, Greensboro right now, 42-20. They're killing it as Merlin Valdez stays hot, 13 for 24, 5 runs, 4 doubles with another home run, 8 RBIs, 5 walks, only 3 strikeouts, and 2 stolen bases. His average is at 310 right now. Lonnie White Jr. went 2 for 6 with 1 run, 3 RBIs, a walk, and 3 Ks. Omar Alfonso, 4 for 23 runs, 3 RBIs, 5 walks. And then Connor Griffin, man, 11 for 27, 10 runs, 4 doubles, 2 home runs, 8 RBIs, 3 walks, only 2 strikeouts in his promotion. What am I reading here? 407.
This is
And then
batting
he got
average.
6 stolen bases.
Yeah, 6 stolen bases.
Like, what are we even talking about, man? This is nuts. Tuesday, Antoine Kelly, 6 innings, 4 hits, 2 earned, no walks, 4 Ks. Griffin in his debut went 2 for 5 with 2 doubles. I believe those were hit 100 plus miles per hour. Javier Ribas hit his 11th home run on the year. Deuce Gorson hit his 5th home run on the year with 3 RBIs. And he had 2 stolen bases, bringing him to 18. Wednesday, Christian Curtis, 5 innings, 5 hits, 1 earned, 2 walks. Griffin, again, 2 for 5 with 2 doubles and RBI in his first stolen bag at the high A level. Lonnie White Jr. went 2 for 4 with 3 RBIs. Thursday, Connor Wheatgrief, 5 innings, 1 hit, no earned, 3 Ks. Connor Griffin, 2 for 5 with an RBI, another stolen base, as average is at 400. And then Will Taylor, who's also up in Greensboro right now, 2 for 4 with a double in his first home run in high A. Friday, Carlson Reed, 4 innings, 3 hits, 1 earned, 2 walks, 3 Ks, as Merlin Valdez went 3 for 4 with a double and 2 RBIs. Saturday, Connor Griffin, again, 3 for 4 with a home run, 2 RBIs, 2 stolen bases, 5 at the level now. And then Sunday, Antoine Kelly, 4 innings, 3 hits, 1 earned, 3 walks, 5 Ks. Connor Griffin had his second home run in high A, 3 RBIs with his 6th stolen base, 110 miles per hour off the bat, 432 feet, cleared the scoreboard and left field. Jeez, oh man. As Merlin
Did you see the video?
Yeah, it's
smoked.
We talked about this when he was on the show, like how his approach is middle away, but he was most proud of the one that we talked to him. I think it was his first home run in Bradenton where he pulled it, his first pull side home run, where he's able to, his hands are so quick and his approach is so, like he knows what he's doing, where he's able to just keep those hands inside and get the barrel around. Just such advanced stuff for a 19-year-old. As Merlin Valdez, 3 for 5 with a double, his 16th home run on the year. And then Javier Ribas went 2 for 6 with his 12th home run, bringing us to Bradenton.
Man, it was really hard to pick who to highlight for Greensboro because you could highlight this whole entire lineup. I mean, just absolutely insane, man. Connor Griffin, generational prospect. I don't think we've seen a hitting prospect in this system since Andrew McCutcheon. And that was 20 years ago. Almost.
Seems like Jack Sawinski erasure.
Don't stop. All right, Brain. Home against the Jupiter Hammerheads, low A affiliate to the Marlins. They're 29-34 after this series. I'll tell you what, why Stanford struggled. We'll just call it out. 0 for 19 this week. Missing his buddy Connor Griffin. 4 walks, 5 Ks, 3 stolen bases. Still contributed other ways. Yordani De Los Santos went 6 for 21, 2 doubles, a home run, 3 RBIs, and 2 stolen bases. I feel like you see De Los Santos all over the box score when you're looking at Bradenton games. He's doing a little bit of everything. Oxio Plaza went 4 for 20 with a double, 4 RBIs. And Johnny Severino started to hit a little bit more this week, 5 for 17, a double, a homer, and 2 RBIs. Speaking of Tuesday, he went 2 for 4 with his 5th homer on the year and an RBI. Wednesday, Matt Ager, 4 innings, 3 hits, 1 earned, 1 walk, 2 Ks. The jury's still out on him. Is he going to be a starting pitcher going forward? They're obviously going to keep him in the starting role, but see how he continues to develop. David Matoma earned his 5th hold in 2/3 of an inning, 1 earned, 1 walk, 1 K, but he left the game early with a trainer. No word on what went on there. Had some rehab assignments too. Thursday, Sammy Ciani went 1 for 2. Malcolm Nunez goes 1 for 3 with a double and RBI. Friday, Jace Bowen went 1 for 3 in his rehab stint, while Braylon Bishop went 1 for 2 with a double. Saturday, Johnny Severino 2 for 3 with a double and RBI, almost at the Mendoza line. And then Sunday, De Los Santos hit his 6th homer in the year, 2 stolen bases. He's got 16 on the season. And that is that for the Marauders. No longer the Marauders row. I thought that was going to hit that hashtag, but it didn't. So,
Did you tweet that out?
yeah, it didn't hit. It's okay.
Didn't put up the numbers you expected?
No, I've had better ideas. So we'll see. We'll keep thinking about them. But Adam, let's a lot of possible names here for player of the week. Who do we got?
It has to be 2-time guest of the show, first round pick.
Oh, 2-time guest of the show. Yeah.
I mean, I have lost track of how many players of the week he's won.
This will be 3.
It's 3. Wow. 11 for 27, 10 runs, 4 doubles, 2 home runs, 8 RBIs, 3 walks, only 2 strikeouts, and 6 stolen bases. His average is at 407. In his week in high A, it's Connor Griffin.
19 years old in high A. I mean, this is it's funny. I was listening to RM on the call up, I think it was, when they talked about their new top 100. It was like, if he continues this in the high A, I mean, he is going to be a top 10, top 5 prospect in baseball.
He has potential to be the best prospect in baseball.
Yeah, he's got that kind of upside. And now I'm like, which will lead us into our draft talk. We'll get there, but I want to talk about Justin Horwitz because he's our new amateur scouting director. I believe that's his title. So he runs the draft. That class is pretty good. Pretty good so far. Early returns, pretty good. I love what he did there. I wanted a college bat. James Tibbs was a guy that we were looking at. Brendan Montgomery I would have loved as a college bat, but like, does he have the upside of Connor Griffin? No. And neither James Tibbs looks like he's going to be maybe a 4th outfielder with some pop included in that Devers trade. So you got to love what you see here, which makes me more intrigued by some of these prep bats that are being mentioned at 6 for this upcoming draft, because the college bats are not as deep up top as it was last year.
There's a chance we see Connor Griffin in 2026.
I would bet on 27, but there's a chance.
There's a chance. If you would have told me that at the beginning of the year, I would have said absolutely not.
Yeah.
But there is a chance. And I think what he has going for him is, yeah, he could play shortstop, but the ability to play outfield at a high level could help accelerate that. Right? If he continues to hit and continues to mature the way he is, I wouldn't rule it out. I wouldn't say it would be an early debut, but saying there's a chance. That's all.
There's definitely a chance. There's no precedent for the Pirates having this type of prospect positionally too. Like I don't know. Like, they've moved him quicker to high A than I thought they would. But we've never had this type of prospect. So never say never, but never. I don't know. It can happen. I hope it does.
You think he finishes the year in high A?
Yeah, I do. And I think there's a chance he opens next year in Double A. But Double A is a big jump, man. 19 years old in high A's. You're still very young for the level at 19. At the level he's at right now. So,
what is Tremar, 20?
20 or 21? I thought he was 21. I could be wrong. Hold on, let's fact check that real quick.
I'm pretty sure Tremar's
21.
21.
June 11th.
Okay.
He turned 21 actually.
Just turned 21.
5 days.
Okay. So like, he just turned 21. We just talked to him about how he's never faced a pitcher younger than him.
All right, Adam. Before we take a break and go into our interview with Jack Brannigan, we're going to do our weekly draft spotlight. And I'm going to bring a prospect to you every week and talk about him a little bit. Quick 2 to 5 minute spiel about a guy that has a chance to be taken at 6 by the Pirates. This week, I'm choosing to highlight prep shortstop Billy Carlson. On the Just Baseball Media top 300 prospect list, he's number 8. But in most mocks that I'm seeing right now across multiple sources, especially Just Baseballs, I tweeted it out today, actually, the link to it. They have Pirates taking Billy Carlson at 6. This is a prep two-way athlete out of Corona, California. Corona High School has 3 guys in the top 100. It's actually ridiculous. They're probably just killing people. But he's committed to Tennessee. He's 18 years old. And he may just be the best shortstop defender in the class. I don't like comps, but the one I am seeing not a perfect comp, is Dansby Swanson with a little bit more offensive upside. Okay, he's very rangy. I think defense and arm are his best skills because he does pitch too. He's going to be drafted as a shortstop more than likely, but he does pitch. He's got a above average arm. If he grows off short, he can move to third, and he's very rangy. At the plate, his swing can get a bit steep, but there's not a ton of whiff concerns. He stays within the strike zone. He's beginning to lift the ball more, so there's maybe some robust power in there that we haven't seen yet because he's got I guess above average bat speed. And it's similar to former Tennessee standout Jordan Beck, his swing. Jordan Beck is currently an outfielder for the Colorado Rockies. He was a 20-plus home run guy at Tennessee. It's the athleticism, arm strength that stand out. And then the hit potential, the hit tool is average to above average, while the power potential right now is probably average, but there's projection there. So this is a guy with a ton of upside. He flipped his commitment from Vanderbilt to Tennessee, but he's definitely going to go top 10. He's going to be one of the top prep guys taken behind Ethan Holiday. And he's really excited, man. I haven't really watched a ton of video, but I haven't seen anything negative. I don't think he has Connor Griffin level star upside, but he's got upside. And I think I'd want to take upside at 6.
Yeah. I think from what I've seen is the glove absolutely plays, and has a home on the left side of the infield. Like you said, whether it's third base or shortstop, he's staying over there. It's exciting stuff, man. But as we know, the MLB draft is an absolute crapshoot. We have no idea what's going to happen.
I think they have him and the top prep arm, not to interrupt you, Seth Hernandez, who's probably going to be the top prep arm pick. I think they go to the same high school, and they're both pitching right now too. Can you imagine those two being on the same high school team? It's kind of like thinking of Harvard Westlake with Flaherty, Giolito, and Fried at the same time. But
jeez, man,
pretty funny. Anyways,
absolutely crazy. Well, excited to highlight these guys as we get closer to All-Star Weekend, which is when the draft is taking place down in Atlanta. Let's take a quick break. We're going to be back with Jack Brannigan. Just a disclaimer, some internet issues with the interview with Jack, so it might be a little choppy here and there. We went to bat with our editing skills, so tried to put it together as best as we can. I think it turned out pretty well for the struggles that we had, but sit back, relax, and enjoy the interview with Pirates prospect and current infielder for the Altoona Curve, Jack Brannigan. Joining us now on Bucko Banter is current infielder for the Altoona Curve, Jack Brannigan. Jack, welcome to Bucko Banter.
Thank you. Yeah, I appreciate you guys having me.
Hey Jack, it's good to see you again, man. We were just in Altoona a few weeks ago, and happy we could get you on. Let's just get right into it, man. What's been the biggest adjustment going from college ball at Notre Dame to professional baseball?
Yeah, I think when you look at the difference between college and pro ball, I mean, definitely the scouting reports. I think in college, a lot of it's kind of just what you can see on video, and then once you get into pro ball, you can kind of get into the weeds a little bit with a lot more information like TrackMan and stuff like that. So hitting wise, it's definitely been huge just to have that information going into the at bat. And then just in terms of like competition, you're just seeing a more consistent level of talent and execution, especially. A lot of pitchers have really good stuff in college, but they're not as consistent with their execution. I think that as you continue to kind of move up the ranks in pro ball, you start to see, pitchers have really good command, and they're, while they also have really good breaking stuff, it's like they can also put it exactly where they want. So I'd say it's just like the consistency in terms of the level of talent that you're facing every day.
Being a two-way guy at Notre Dame, do you think that helps you as a hitter and furthering your development as a professional?
Definitely. I think that there are certain things that I kind of can see both sides because I used to pitch. So it's like I kind of can understand some of what the other team's trying to do against me and stuff like that. But it's not like a huge difference, really. I think it's just some minor things that I've picked up on.
Jack, early on in your career, you've bounced between shortstop and third base, probably more so third base. But how do you approach, switching between each position often during the season?
Yeah, I mean, I think they're pretty similar. You're on the left side of the infield either way. And I grew up playing shortstop pretty much until I got to college. And then from college, I'm basically into pro ball. I was playing third base. So I feel like I've been pretty comfortable at both spots, and I try not. I don't really think kind of just show up in the early work, do my stuff, and kind of just know like going in the day. All right, I'm at shortstop. I need to be. I need to really focus on my footwork a little bit more and kind of create some angles and stuff like that. So it's just more about that quick reaction. So I think it's just little things that you do during the workday before the game to kind of prepare yourself.
Was it the plan this year to get more reps at shortstop, or is that just something that was thrown on you recently?
Spring training, they told me they're going to have me play more short this year while still playing some games at third. So it's been kind of a pretty even mix the last couple of weeks, but I know early on I was definitely playing more short. So it's kind of roster we have right now.
Jack, can you walk us through a typical day during the season, like your workout, your prep, your mindset?
Yeah, so most games are at night, so wake up, start make some breakfast, kind of hang out at the apartment with some of the guys, and then we'll head over there. Usually around do is kind of lift if you need to, kind of do some sort of activation, some prep work to kind of get the body moving to start the day. And then we'll do a hitters meeting. We'll talk about, certain things that day. And then we'll kind of move into our like early cage work. So you kind of bounce in as you need to. And then we'll get some on-field work. We usually do defense first. Kind of just depends on the day, but we mix in like PFPs, some cuts and relays with outfielders, and then we'll do our individual ground ball work. And then we'll kind of shift into BP if we have it that day. And if not, just kind of go in the clubhouse, eat, and kind of hang out before the game. Do what you need to do in terms of recovery and preparation, stuff like that.
How has that adjustment been playing, a significantly more amount of games like per year on the body, is like making sure that like that routine stays consistent? Is that like super important on a day-to-day basis in order to play the amount that you are?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is just kind of that recovery aspect. I think in college, I was a little bit younger, kind of more at like, I was just able to go out there on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, play, and then you've got a way more off days and stuff like that. So I think just the recovery aspect is huge, kind of getting in the routine of what you need to do. And I think going in now, this is my, third full season where I've kind of been able to experiment and try some different things the last 2 years and kind of see what works, and kind of build that routine now. So I definitely think like you said, you're playing every day. And so it's like, what can you do in between the time when the game ends and when you come to the field the next day? Like, what can you do to recover as well as you can? So I definitely think it's huge.
How about the mental side of the game, Jack? It's a big part of baseball, and now you're going into a longer season than you played probably your whole life. High school to college ball and then to pro ball. It's inevitable that you're going to go through some downturns, some slumps, or just not feel it, during a week or so at times. How do you handle those moments?
That you're going to go through some downturns throughout the year, and so I think the big thing is just kind of trying to stay neutral as much as you can. It's easy when things are going good to kind of think like, oh, I'm going to be great forever. And it's easy when things start to go bad where it's like, man, this is just going to keep going. Like, how am I going to get out of this? So I think the big thing is that no matter what, you kind of just want to be neutral and kind of, you've been playing this game for a long time and you've done a lot of things to kind of get to where you are now. And it's like, you got to have that confidence when things are bad. And you also kind of need to have that humbleness when things are going well. So I really just try to stay in the middle and kind of know, like, it's the game has a lot of ups and downs, and you just kind of out. And
Jack, let's go to the offensive side of things at the plate. I mean, obviously there's a ton of power there, but do you have a general approach like that just for your entire game, or is it on a day-to-day basis based on the hitters meetings, analytics, when you're going up to hit?
Yeah, I think the approach shifts based on the pitcher, kind of what they've shown to attack guys with, and kind of what I think the plan is going to look like for me specifically. But, kind of sweeping, and I'm trying to just kind of hit like a head high line drive. I think that, when you kind of get in the mindset of like, oh, I'm going to try to, lift the ball or whatever, your missed hits kind of turn into pop outs. And I think that for me, it works best when it's kind of that looking for that head high line drive. And I think that you hit a ball and it's, that 1-2 hopper through the infield, and you hit a ball the other way, and, you accidentally hit a homer, something like that. So I try to just hit line drives through the middle of the field, and then kind of make small adjustments, maybe try to aim more towards right field one day based on what the pitcher has, or a little bit more towards left center, whatever it might be. But pretty much generally just kind of trying to hit line drives through the middle of the field.
Is there a specific swing that you model yours after, or that you like to watch?
It's funny. It kind of changes a lot. It's like I'll go through phases where I'll watch one guy and it's like, I really want to model my guy and kind of start following that. So I don't really have anyone specific. It's kind of just it changes a lot, and there's also a lot of really good examples out there. So I try not to focus too much on one, but kind of just like there's a number of guys, and you kind of try to just fit the mold of those guys and match what they're doing, and try to meet that like happy medium basically.
Take bits and pieces from different people.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you. I couldn't really think of the word, but that's exactly what I was trying to.
What's like as you jump from level to level, there's obviously adjustments to be had, but what do you think the biggest adjustment going from Greensboro to Altoona this year has been?
The biggest thing is just like the consistency of the arms. I think there's the breaking stuff has been a lot more consistent, and the guys kind of put it a lot where they want to. I also think the big thing has been Altoona's a little bit larger field than Greensboro is. So you're trying to kind of manage that and, just try to learn with that. But I think the biggest thing for me has just been like the consistency of the pitchers.
Yeah, makes sense. Do you have a favorite minor league ballpark that you've played in so far?
Ooh, it's the Red Sox.
Is that Greenville or Salem?
It's Greenville. Yeah, they're high. Yeah. We played there. We actually played there in college, and then 2 weeks in pro ball. I've been there. So it's a super nice stadium, and the city's pretty cool.
Jack, before we let you go, one question that we ask all the guys in the minor leagues, you're playing professional baseball, you're around a ton of talent, but focusing just on the Altoona curve right now, is there a teammate or a group of guys on the team that you've looked at and just like recognize like, wow, this is a professional baseball player, or the talent is off the charts?
Yeah. I mean, I think everybody, everyone has a ton of talent just to get to this level. And I think, everyone has certain aspects of their game where, it's extremely elite and kind of stands out amongst the rest. I think, it's hard to, some pretty elite stuff. And I'm happy that I don't have to face that. Do a lot of things really well, and it's a lot of fun to watch.
Awesome, man. Well, hey, man, it's been a pleasure having you on. Hopefully we'll see you in Pittsburgh soon. But best of luck the rest of the way in Altoona this year, and we'll talk soon.
Absolutely. Thank you, guys. Yeah.
Best seats at the Pirates game, they let me run the base. Yeah, my time is like my money, cause I can't afford to waste. Wifey is a lawyer, take my date to my dates, or the steak by the plates. And